Hi. So in this one, I looked up articles, I looked up information on the Jade Emperor because I want you to know who is the Jade Emperor. The Jade Emperor. He's on the ancestor money. I talk about the ancestor money all the time. And I'm trying to encourage others to burn the money, get familiar with the money and the purpose of burning the money. And the Emperor, the Jade Emperor. The Jade Emperor has a lot of importance. So I'm gonna just go in here because there are articles that talk about the Jade Emperor, who he is, and the mythology of him. And it's just so that you can get familiar of what the hell is ancestor money. Always talk about ancestor money. And then this is a Chinese tradition. This is made in China, manufactured in China. Everything is done in China. So this is through Chinese mythology. So I'm gonna do 3 videos because I'm gonna use 3 articles and I don't want to mix it up. So with this one, it's called the Jade Emperor Mythopedia. Then I have the Jade Emperor on Wikipedia, so you could check that out in another video. But I'm just gonna go through with everything. It's by Mae Hamilton, and it was updated. Last time it was updated was December 1st, 2022. So that was last year. It was just updated. That means that the article could have been written years ago, but they find new information, so they update the article. So, and then here we go. One of the most important and popular figures in Chinese mythology is the Jade Emperor. Is the supreme ruler of heaven and the first emperor in China. He is also considered to be an especially important Taoist deity. With all of its specialized roles and social hierarchies, the Jade Emperor's court parallels the structure of ancient Chinese monarchies. The emperor's fairness, benevolence, and mercy were traits that the real Chinese emperors sought to emulate. So that other emperors after him, they tried to be like him. They tried to be fair and have mercy on people, benevolence. They just tried to be good, like a good emperor. Even today, the Jade Emperor plays a significant role in Chinese life, especially around Chinese New Year. During the New Year, the Jade Emperor is said to judge the character of each individual over the past year and punish or reward them accordingly. So, this is Chinese mythology, but and then it's like in actual real life. Like when you sit here and you doing fuck shit to people all year long and you think you're gonna have a good future, like you think you're gonna have a good life, and you sit here and you doing all this fuck shit to people. No, you will be judged. But this is mythology. But it's real life too. Like this really happens. The etymology. Etymology. The Jade Emperor's name consists of Chinese characters, Yu meaning jade and Di meaning emperor. However, the Jade Emperor has many other names and titles as well. His full title, written as Yuhang Shangdi, means the pure August Emperor on high. Yuhang Shangdi. Okay. Pure August Emperor on high. Though this is seldom used, nobody really uses it. The Jade Emperor is more commonly referred to as Tiangong, or Heavenly Grandfather. The attributes. In art and cinema, the Jade Emperor is usually depicted as a middle-aged man sporting a thin mustache and a long, sagey goatee. So he got the little skinny Let me see. Yeah, he got the little skinny mustache and the goatee there. Where was I? And he typically appears wearing long flowing robes and sitting on a royal throne, though he is also sometimes depicted wearing a full battle armor and wielding a large sword. That's because he defends us against all evil. Like whoever's trying to do stuff against you, is like the emperor got you. But let me continue. Family. The Jade Emperor is married to the Celestial Queen, Mother. I don't know. I'm going to just use C. XI. C. The couple are said to have an enormous amount of children together, and three of their daughters hold important places in Chinese mythology. Xiu Niang Niang is a fertility goddess that helps couples in need of children, and Yang Kuang Nian Niang is the protector of the blind who can grant the power of eyesight to those in need. Perhaps their most famous daughter, Xiu Niu, is famous not for her role as a goddess, but for her actions. She infamously fell in love with a human and suffered as a result. Because they're all immortal. For you to get to be immortal, it's like you can't deal with humans. Like, you're human. Like what? But you know, this is mythology. So the origins. In some versions of his origin story, the Jade Emperor came into existence when the universe was created by Pangu. In most popular myths, he is commonly described as having been a mortal man prior to becoming a god. So it's like, you know, how us, like God created the world and whatever, 7 days. I think that's how it goes. But like, this is a mythology. This is, you know, a myth. The origin of the Jade Emperor as a soldier. The Jade Emperor was said to have been a soldier named Xiang Dengalai, who fought in a bloody civil war during the Zhao dynasty. In the midst of a particularly vicious battle, Dengalai and his entire battalion were wiped out. Like, wow. When Dengalai woke up in the afterlife, he found his commander handing out honorary positions in the celestial court to each of the other soldiers. So he fought a war and everybody died in the war. And they were all wiped out. And he woke up in the afterlife and he just saw everybody being awarded positions and medals. Let's see what happens. Gradually, all of the men were awarded positions in the court except for the commander and Dengalai. His commander was secretly scheming to save the highest ranking position of the Jade Emperor for himself. Just as he was about to declare himself emperor, however, he paused and said, Dengalai, meaning wait a moment. In those days, it was customary for high officials and royals to pause before accepting a promotion and reflect on the great responsibilities that they would be taking on. Seeing a huge opportunity, Dengalai feigned ignorance of this tradition and acted as if he had heard his name. Thus, Dengalai stepped forward and accepted the role of the Jade Emperor. So he like tricked everybody, being, you know. But this is a myth. This is like one of the stories, the origin of the Jade Emperor as a soldier. And this is the origin of the Jade Emperor as a virgin birth. Virgin birth. That means that there was no conception. There was no sex. Like, he just came out of like air. He was born. But in other versions of his story, the Jade Emperor was born to a chaste queen. C-H-A-S-T. I have to look that up because I don't know what that means. Let's see. Chaste. What does that mean? C-H-A-S-T-E. Chaste. Abstaining from extramarital or from all sexual intercourse. Oh, okay. That's what that means. A chaste queen. That means a queen that was not having any sex, who had been praying for an heir to succeed the throne of her sick elderly husband. That's why she wasn't having sex, because her husband was sick. One night as she slept, the queen had a vision of the Taoist philosopher Laozi and miraculously became pregnant. As soon as the baby was born, it was obvious that there was something special about him. He gained the ability to walk and talk prematurely and was unusually patient and kind for a small child, because little kids are impatient and they always crying and acting up, and it's like he was different, a different baby. When his father died, the Jade Emperor assumed the throne and devoted his time to helping the needy and ensuring the prosperity of his subjects. After achieving all the goals in just a few short years, the Jade Emperor abdicated the throne to a relative. That means that he gave the throne to someone else because he saw no use in having so much power. After he left the court, the Jade Emperor devoted his life to meditation and studying the Taoist philosophy. After years of study, he achieved enlightenment, learned the secret to immortality, and became a powerful deity. Okay. These are all myths of the Jade Emperor. So this is another one, the seamstress and the cowherd. The story of the seamstress and the cowherd is one of the most famous Chinese folklores ever told and remains very popular to this day. Once upon a time, the Jade Emperor's daughter, a talented weaver, seamstress, like she sews things, and a humble cowherd fell in love. Like, oh, enraged that his daughter would leave heaven to marry a human. It was like it was just so like I don't know. It's just something that you just don't do. The Jade Emperor banished the couple to live in the opposite sides of the Milky Way. And after seeing how unhappy his daughter was, however, he allowed them to see each other once a year. And they call it Chinese Valentine's Day. It's celebrated on the 7th day of the 7th month of the lunar calendar, the day when the two lovers are said to reunite each year. So the 7th is July 7th. July 7th. That's what that day is. That's the Chinese Valentine's Day. That's the story of the seamstress and the cowherd. Okay. Wow, they were banished on opposite sides of the Milky Way and only allowed to see each other once a year on the 7th day of the 7th month. And they call that day Chinese New Year, Chinese Valentine's Day, when the two lovers are said to reunite each year. Like, oh, okay. This is another one. Journey to the West. One of the most popular myths in the Chinese canon, Journey to the West, is the story of a humble Buddhist monk named Tang San Zhang, who journeys from southern China to India in order to bring back holy texts and help enlighten his countrymen. Because India has a lot of, it's spiritual also. That's why people wear the things there. I don't know what they call it, but I know India is very spiritual too. The Chinese has a lot of spirituality and a lot of myths. So that's why they have all this history and dynasties, and it's like a big deal, and then everything is recorded. So it's always something to go back to. The Jade Emperor's role in the story revolves around the Monkey King, Sun Wukong. Wukong was once a member of the Jade Emperor's court, but was thrown out of heaven and pinned underneath a mountain for 500 years for defying the Emperor's authority. Whereas Wukong is the epitome of jealousy, impatience, and bitterness, the Jade Emperor is a model example of kindness, compassion, and wisdom. After repenting and serving as San Zhang's disciple, Wukong achieves Buddhahood and is accepted back into the Jade Emperor's court. That's Journey to the West. Wow. So because he was so mean, he was like a mean monkey king. Wow. He was jealous, impatient, bitter. And the Jade Emperor was the opposite. He was kind, he was compassionate, he was wise. Let's see, here's another one, the zodiac animals. One day, the Jade Emperor sent letters to all the animals in his earthly kingdom, inviting them to meet him at his palace. The animals that showed up The animals that showed up were to be named honorary members of the zodiac. Knowing he was the most handsome of all the animals, the cat was sure that he would be granted a spot. So he was also very lazy, however, and loved to sleep in. Feeling sleepy, the cat asked his friend, the rat, to wake him up when it was time to go to the Jade Emperor's palace. The rat had not been invited to the Jade Emperor's palace and knew that he did not have a chance of getting into the zodiac. Not when people were disgusted by his mere presence. So everybody was disgusted by the rat. When they saw the rat, they'd be like, ew, they probably running away from the rat. So he knew he had no chance to get into the palace. So the rat saw only one choice in front of him. He must let the cat sleep and go in as his place. When the cat woke up the next morning, he realized that he had slept through most of the day. He looked around for the rat to ask him why he had failed to wake him up, and saw him strolling happily through the streets. Angrily at the rat's betrayal, the cat began to chase after him. And this is why cats hunts rats to this day. So because the rat is in the zodiac. The Chinese zodiac, the rat is in it, and the cat, there's no cat in the zodiac sign, but a rat is in there. We got the goat, we got the lion, we have all kinds of things in the zodiac, but the cat is not there, but the rat is there. That's, it's a myth. It's a story that you can find the answer to it. Like when you look at the Chinese zodiac, you can look and you'll see the rat, and then you'll remember the story that the rat took the cat's place because the cat was supposed to be there, but the rat took its place because the cat was sleeping. Oh my God. Que bochinche, right? And then now the cat is always chasing the mouse around because he's mad. He took his spot. Here's another one. Pop culture. The Jade Emperor is one of the most important and popular deities in Chinese folk religion. There are hundreds of temples dedicated to the Jade Emperor throughout Asia, and nearly every temple has at least one shrine devoted to him. So it's like the Jade Emperor is so important, and he's so kind, so giving, fair and just and wise, and it's like he was the first emperor, and that's why he's so important throughout China, worldwide. That's why he got these bills. And he's also wanted justice. Like, he didn't want us to be taken advantage of or misused or treated unfairly, because if anyone was to treat you unfairly, you will be punished. You will be punished. That is just what he does. But he'll do it fairly. Fairly, it'll be just. Like with the Monkey King, like he was mean and bitter and jealous, and he was banished under a mountain for 500 years. Like, what? 500 years? Like, okay, that seems just, right? Because they're immortal. So, the Jade Emperor, back to the article, right? The Jade Emperor is one of the most important and popular deities in Chinese folk religion. Yeah, hundreds of shrines devoted to him. The Jade Emperor's birthday celebration is held on the 9th day of the lunar calendar, and this day of worship is an integral part of celebrating Chinese New Year. During the New Year, everyone's deeds are told to the Jade Emperor by the stove god. The stove god, Zhao Zhang, who lives in the kitchen and bears witness to everything that happens within the house. The Jade Emperor then decides if that family should be rewarded or punished in the coming year based on their behavior in the previous one. People will often give candy to Zhao Zhang, either to sweeten him up or make his mouth so sticky that he won't be able to speak. Like, what? During the New Year, worshippers often create elaborate, tiring offering shrines. They burn incense and offer prayers to the Jade Emperor to appease him and bring themselves luck in the coming year. He is said to have the ability to aid and intervene in any kind of trouble worshippers may have. So any kind of troubles you may have is like, it's not that he can fix it, but he has a way to intervene, or he has a way to intercede into it so that it can work in your favor. Many have. It is especially important not to skip his celebration. One of the most popular prayers reads as follows. So this is a prayer. Help the sick and all who suffer. Protect the hermits against serpents and tigers, navigators against the fury of the waves. Peaceable men against robbers and brigands. I don't know what that is. Brigands. Drive far from all contagion, caterpillars and grasshoppers. Preserve us from drought, flood, and fire, from tyranny and captivity. Tyranny, that's like an evil ruler, somebody that's in command and they're just wicked and cruel. Captivity, got you locked up. Deliver from the hells those who are tormented there. Enlighten all men with the doctrine that saves. Rebirth that which is dead, and let become green again with okay. So like the land that has died and dried up is brown. Let them become green again, that which is dried up. So that's pretty much it for this one. I know I went in on this one, but I just wanted to talk about the Chinese mythology. I wanted to talk about the Jade Emperor because there are many stories about the Jade Emperor, and you know, I didn't read this before. So when I get on here, like this is the first time I'm reading it, like just like, you know, I just wanted to talk about them. So I have 2 more articles to go. Leave with love. I'm gonna probably timestamp them once I upload it. So leave with love. Bye.